Well, welcome back, and it is time for the Word on Wall Street. Top investors watching your money. Joining me right now is Michael Lee strategy founder Michael Lee and through the cycle president John Lonsky. Great to see you, gentlemen. Thank you for being here. Michael, kicking things off with you with a big story on oil this morning. Oil prices are soaring. They're up 5% after OPEC Plus made a surprise oil production cut of more than 1 million barrels a day. Michael, look at the price of Brent at $84.56 right now. We got some issues around the dollar this morning as well. What's your take on this move in oil and all the oil stocks taking a cue from the price rising this morning? That's really what's lifting the Dow Industrials, the rally in oil stocks.
Yeah, Maria, I'd expect this to continue as demand slows. I think the economy is going to continue to slow worldwide throughout this year. As that happens, expect supply cuts to offset any sort of demand destruction that we're seeing. Oil is run by a cartel, and Saudi Arabia, Russia and Saudi Arabia do not have the best relations with the U.S. government at the moment, to say the least. This is very much punitive on their part, and I expect that to continue. And then in terms of the U.S. dollar, you're starting to see more foreign countries deal in somewhat of a barter system or deal in local currency. A deal was announced between Lula in Brazil and China to do international trade in their own currencies, as well as India dealing with some other nations. I think this has just as much to do with a worldwide dollar shortage, which is why the Fed opened swap lines, as much so is the dollar being destructed and not being the reserve currency. I think we're a very long way away from that. It's an eventuality. All reserve currencies end over time, but I don't see that happening with the U.S. dollar anytime soon. There's no other country in the world with as robust a bond market. There's $12 trillion of dollar-denominated debt outside the U.S. It's so embedded right now. For that to change, the world would need to change dramatically, which will eventually happen. Yeah. I just don't know if it'll happen in my lifetime.
Well, it's a great point to make that, you're not worried about this, but this is what the CCP is trying to do. They're trying to replace the United States as the #1 superpower, and that includes replacing the dollar as the global reserve currency. And, when you see other countries relying less on the dollar, Mike, that certainly hurts our ability to put sanctions on bad actors. That's one ramification here.
No, absolutely. But it was the weaponization of the U.S. dollar that led to countries like India, who are staunch allies just a couple of years ago, to start looking elsewhere. Because if you can weaponize the U.S. dollar the way that they did against Russia, we can, in theory, do it to any country. And so let's just say the life of the dollar was 100 years pre-sanctions. That may have taken it to 50 years. For 50 years, the life of the reserve currency, the dollar, is now 25 years. But it definitely pulled forward the demise of the U.S. currency, along with the trillions of dollars of excess spending that we're engaging in, a structural $1 trillion deficit. So, look, this doomsday for the U.S. dollar is definitely being pulled forward with a lot of policy decisions.
Yeah, for sure. And the policy decisions are also affecting the growth story of America, John. We are expecting this